Hello, welcome to Broker Brains. I'm Shanna O'Brien with Cascadian Northwest Real Estate.
And I'm Andy Costello, co-owner of Venture Commercial Real Estate.
How are you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. What are we going to talk about today, Shanna?
Well, we're going to talk about one of the things that I know drives you crazy.
100%.
And that is people who cannot manage their voicemail properly.
Yes. Having full voicemail is an absolute huge frustration of mine. I run into it on the commercial side of the business. I'm sure you do too on the residential side of the business. And I don't know whether people don't know that their voicemail is full, because I always try to tell people. But I'm just thinking, in this business, checking your voicemail is kind of important.
Yeah, I hate voicemail, and my voicemail actually says, please hang up and send me a text.
Well, I would lump them all together in terms of like the phone etiquette, in terms of your voicemail being full and telling people in your voicemail, greeting, what you want them to do.
Yeah, well, that's true. Give some direction on what you want people to do.
Yes.
Because I know sometimes like you want to write an offer on something, and the instruction will be call the listing agent.
Right. It doesn't say text.
No can do if they don't answer the phone, and it says either the voicemail is full or this person's voicemail has not been set up yet.
Oh, that's, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can be in this business or any sales industry without having your voicemail set up. So,
yeah.
And I get really annoyed when people also call and don't leave a voicemail or a text, right? They just call, you see missed call. And I personally do not return calls that are with no context to them.
Right.
If there's no follow-up. So my voicemail directs people, if I don't know you, to leave a voicemail or a text, because I'm going to assume you're spam, because I get a lot of spam calls, as I'm sure a lot of people in this industry do. And just in general, right? Our numbers are everywhere. So my direction is, if I don't know your number, you need to leave me a voicemail or a text. So same as yours. Like, don't leave me a voicemail, send me a text.
So when you get a missed call, and let's just say it's not like an 888 number, it's a local number, but it's not anybody who's in your phone book. Do you call back on the missed call?
Never.
Yeah, I don't either.
Never. Because if you want something from me, you are going to follow up somehow.
Yeah.
I've never had anything good come from calling a missed call. If you want information about our listings, you want my service, you're going to communicate.
Yeah. If it's somebody I know, and it's like, they know that I just, you know what I mean? Like if you were to call, if you called me and I missed the call, I would call you back later.
Right.
Because I know it's you and you didn't call for nothing.
Yeah. But I also know I should text you.
Yeah.
So we're good there. But I had one guy, he was calling on one of our listings, and the number popped up 4 or 5 times, missed call. And I'm just like, well, obviously you must not want something bad enough. And then finally he left me a message. And when I got him on the phone, he told me, well, my wife said realtors don't return phone calls. And I said, that's not true. I know lots of people in this industry that return phone calls. I said, my voicemail greeting even says I don't return unknown numbers.
Yeah.
So you did not leave me a voicemail. You didn't want something badly enough, and your wife had to tell you what to do. I can already tell what your relationship must be like. So,
and I can tell what kind of a client you're going to be.
And needless to say, he did not buy the property. We were just talking about that earlier. I don't sell anything from signed calls. So I'm like, you must not have wanted it badly enough that you couldn't leave me a voicemail. And again, I understand people have told me they have phone anxiety, and I personally don't understand it, but I appreciate you sharing that with me, because then I'm like, well, then text me. Then we can set up a call, and I'm okay with that.
Well, and my phone anxiety is exactly the opposite. Like if I have to call somebody, I'm just like praying it just goes to voicemail. And that way I can just say what I need and say, hey, text me if you have any questions.
Yeah. That's
I don't know how I got where I am with regard to just not wanting to talk to anybody on the phone.
Well, I think then you find people that are okay with that, right? Or they're fine with using text to schedule a meeting with you in person or something like that, and that's okay.
And some of it comes from, I mean, I'm old. I'm not like a millennial who has been raised on texting. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was in middle school, I would talk on the phone for 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
So I don't know where my phone phobia came from, but I know right now at this point in my life, I love that it's in text because it's written down.
Well, I like that too.
And then I can go back.
Yeah.
That's a
good one.
I encourage all of our agents too. Like if you're going to have that and have a conversation, then follow it up with a text or an email to just say, hey, as we talked about, so that you have it in writing.
Yeah.
Because this is a documentation business. I mean, I'm sure you have to
100%.
document the same way that we do. Where and if it's important, you need to have it captured.
Yeah.
Not just here.
Correct. I would
'Cause
agree.
This is a faulty system.
Well, I think today's episode is kind of short because really to sum it up is make sure your voicemail is not full. Check your voicemail, set up your greeting, and tell your callers what you want them to do. If you want them to text, or you want them to email, or you want them to do something. Email's a little tough because then somebody has to be writing it down. But either tell them to leave a voicemail or send you a text. And I think that's I've called lots of agents that are like, hey, for a faster response, text me.
And the phone etiquette. I mean, also if you're working and it's the work day and your number is out there on a listing or whatever, how about just answer the phone?
Yes. Or I love the ones that I do get a voicemail and they don't even leave me their name. And I always think that's funny, and I'll call them back. I'm like, hi, I don't know who I'm calling back, but you called me and you didn't leave your name. Oh, I forgot that. I'm like, yeah, isn't that kind of important? But I'm calling you back anyway.
Well, or sometimes it's, well, I assume everybody knows who I am.
Right. Yes. True. But I think those are kind of our key takeaways from today.
So just be more, as an industry, I feel like on the residential side, we do need to be more communicative, I think, across the board, agent to agent and agents to clients. So answer your phone.
Well, all this applies to commercial too, because commercial brokers don't answer the phone, let alone call back. So it applies in my industry too. There's lots of times I'm calling
I know you've had people tell you this before, and I have people tell me all the time, oh, you answered your phone.
Or you called me back. Wow, you called me back so fast. I'm like, well, yeah, I would have answered if I could have, but I was busy. But yeah, I'm calling you back.
Yeah.
So
it's called being at work. I'm at work. I have to do this.
Dialing for dollars, answering the phone for dollars. Yes.
Oh God, don't get me started on dialing for dollars. All right. Well, it's always fun to chat with you.
Same here. And sorry, go ahead.
So thank you for joining us, and give us a like or a follow so that we will know what kind of content people are interested in, and leave a comment about this topic. Do you answer unknown numbers? We're curious.
Yeah, and we would love your suggestions for any future episodes you want us to talk about. We always love answering people's questions or providing some insights from our experience. We appreciate you watching this week. Take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too. We'll see you next week.
Bye.